Hi, Bo here from High Tech Investment, and welcome back to the channel where today we're going to have a closer look at a robot that we have actually been trading for around 70 days. And it has slowly but surely sneaked up on us. How big the profit has actually become in that particular time. Basically an average over both weekly and monthly results. We do have our weekly postings already that we post on different media platforms in here so that you can follow all our EAs. This one here certainly hasn't gone below our radar, but still we are quite surprised by some of the numbers that this particular EA has done so far. And it seems like it has outperformed everything else that we are currently testing. So is this really the best trading robot ever? Well, we're going to figure it out, and obviously we can figure it out together. We're going to look at the numbers, both the profits itself and obviously also the drawdowns and some of the risks that are involved in here. So the first numbers that basically comes up to us here is the weekly returns of 4.7%. Quite high every single week, and also the monthly returns at the moment. This is FXBlue, basically adding it in at 21.1%, profit factor 1.92, and then as you can see our history, we got 71 days of history so far with this particular robot. This robot here trades up to 10 different currency pairs on one account. And then if we have a look at the weeks that we have been trading this one here and the net profits, you can also see that it has been profitable every single week. There's not a single week it hasn't. It had a new all-time high last week, basically with $1,479. And as you can see already this week, it is doing $160 and continue trading up. Now there's a couple of funny little things with that particular EA here, where it has to go bad in order to go even better. And that is basically some of the things we're also going to have a look at to see exactly how well this robot is working, because we understand that some people, they just want a higher profit. They don't really care about the drawdowns. They don't really care about deposit loads, so on and so on. But we're going to go through everything here today, including also a bit later, of course, of where you can find more details and information about this particular one. Now, we always try to keep a close eye on our individual trading accounts to make sure that they are working out, and we can also see the numbers if we have to make any changes to lot sizing or drawdown issues that we have. That is why we always put it on FXBlue, and that's where we're basically going to start here today, analyzing some of the results that we have had. First part, of course, is the balance itself. Well, we actually started off with, you can see it's a demo account type. So any new EA that you are trading, you should always start off with the demo account until you are comfortable with it, understand it exactly how it trades. And only then you basically go live with real money. So this particular one here, we are using a base. And again, it basically shows just how things are set up. And then we have a good standard to look forward to when we then go live with real money accounts. Now the balance in here has actually gone up from 10,000, which is what we are trading with here, to 15,769. At the moment, we can see the floating profit is at minus 44.25. So not too bad. Close profit, of course, is the profit that I just mentioned to you here before. Margin in use 103, so not really very much at the moment. And then you have the margin level in percentage also, more than 15,000. So plenty of space. And you can see the graph in here. When we are starting this one off, it started off, and that's the FXBlue account we set up on the 16th of May, net deposit 10,000. And since then, it has basically had a nice little jump here. And then it's just following a nice little trend, again with a couple of bumps. That's basically hyped up the profit. We had this one recently here from 14,179 up to 15,426, and then it continues. Have a look at the stats itself. Total returns so far, 57.3%. Monthly returns, again calculated by FXBlue here, is around 21.1%. And weekly returns calculate to 4.7, so really high here on a consistent level. I mean, we're not just talking about a couple of weeks, we're already up into a couple of months or more than 70 days, so 2.5 months. Trade wins is also quite high, so we have 76% as it is at the moment. Profit factor 1.92. And then the pips taken, trades per day, so there's quite a few trades, about 14. History is 71, and we can see over here basically the amount of trades split up on the 10 different currency pairs that we have here. We also have a bit of on the risk side. Risk reward ratio is 8.42. And then we can see the worst day, but we're going to go and have a closer look on another graph here instead. Average results says 584, and then average win 1604, and average loss 26.46. So obviously all these numbers here is great, but let's try and put them into a bit more perspective here. And we will see the weekly, monthly returns that we just talked about before here. Again, equity at the moment from 10,000 up to 15,729. So all looks very good. You can again see the deposit that was put in here. And let's go and have a look at the closer look here. So the days, winning days at the moment with this EA is 54. No losing whatsoever. Best day is 1,246. Definitely a very, very high number, so extremely impressive. Worst one is $1.72, so obviously that is a bit low, but still no loss at all. We have 11 winning weeks, and then the best week we had here is the one I just showed you before, 1,479. And the worst week was 73.78. That's actually the first week, which was not a full week we started off with. Then it's been trading for 3 months here now. And the best month so far is 2,729 or 92, sorry. Or worst one was 1,228. So the worst month, 1,228, is quite astonishing here again. And closing trades overall 749. That was the winning trades. Losing trades 236. And again, individual trades. You can see they had one trade, basically made 1,130. And worst one was down to minus 136.62. So definitely some good numbers as it is right now here. And if we have a look at the individual days, we can see that we started this one off on the 18th. So basically this is where it takes the first trades, even though FXBlue was set up before that. Individual days is obviously quite fine, and we have all the way through. We have, this is the highest day, net profit 1,246. We have other days here of 676. So also again here, good numbers, but let's cut it down to weeks. As you saw on our introduction, again, already here second week we were more than $1,000. Since then it's been 300, 300, 600, 200, almost 300, 230, 900, 1400, and now 164. Even more impressive when you go to the monthly profits here. 1,228 for the first month, 1,748 for the second month, and 2,792 for this particular month. That's quite heavy results in here. Now, the interesting part with this particular EA is if we have a look at the symbols, and we have a look also here at the winners, the winning percentage itself. So we start off here. Winning percentage for the US Swiss francs is actually the best. It is 96%, and then you can see it actually runs all the way down to 63. But if we have a look at the net profit, we can see that it's only done 157 in net profit. The next one here, which is Euro Japanese, 87%, that has only done 149. So even though they have a high winning percent, we are actually not getting that much money in, and I'll explain a bit about that later. We see another winning part. So again here with 81%, which is still nice and high, $604, and another 81% win. Again here, just 440, and then 79% for the US Japanese, and the net profit 170. So again, very, very low amounts until we get to the Euro USD. And yes, the winning percent is actually lower than all the ones that I just mentioned to you here before. You can see 71, 70 here, and even down to 63. But these are the ones that has basically cashed in the most. So there's obviously a bit of a insanity back to it. So when we come back, we will have a closer look exactly at what is actually happening. But for that, we're actually going to go over to the MQL5 platform instead, where it's a lot easier to show you exactly what's going on. Now, the reason I like the MQL5 platform here is because it presents the numbers in a graphical manner different to the FXBlue, and sometimes it's good to have a different view on the same trades in here. Provides you with a better perspective of how the trades are going, and sometimes it's also definitely tracking the deposit load and the maximum drawdown a lot better than FXBlue. So it's easy to set up and also for free. If we have a look, we can see 58% is what it has calculated. So the profit on the account here so far. Algo trading is 100%, so we are not really interfering with the EA at all. Profitable trades, 76.1%. Losing trades, 23.9%. Trading activity is set to 100%. There is open items most of the time, definitely. Max deposit load is extremely high here, and we'll show you that a bit later. It is a couple of weeks back that we had that, almost 100%. And then maximum drawdown is the maximum limit here, 42.9 at the moment. And again, on the side, you can see we have traded 10 weeks, as it says here. Equity is 15,723. And again, the profit that we have here, initial deposits, you can follow, and we can also see the open trades that is currently here. And we can, there is quite a few different trades. You can see the volume size, and that is basically the lot size. These particular ones are normally starting off with 0.03 lot size. So that is what we have set it up for, and so far it has worked very well. The growth itself, we can see started off in May, 12%, June 15.5%, and July 21.51%. Overall, 57.68% is what has been calculated. And then the balance in here also, which is quite important, of course, but again, lines up. So with the growth. And then we have the most important one, the drawdown itself, that we really need to have a closer look at. We can see some serious spikes, 34%. We can see another one, 23%. And then we had some recent ones coming in at 39.85, and this is actually the top one of 42.93. So again, there was quite a bit of a hassle here. So on the account, and if we look at the equity, we can see that the equity went from roughly just over 10,000 in the beginning here to 6,700. We had a couple of dips, again the other one here, then we had these two also coming in, but obviously still far from wiping out the accounts, so still at around 8,000, and since then you can see it's been leveling out, and the drawdowns are actually working out quite nicely again. Now, I mentioned some of the bumps here earlier that we saw on the currency pairs when we looked at the FXBlue results, and you can basically have a look at the drawdown and then match them up to the spikes in the profit. You will see here that 10,000, what are we at? 10,300, 10,400 here, roughly 10,439. And then you have a big spike coming here, and then afterwards the balance has gone up to over 11,000. You can see again here the next drawdown. You also here have a few wrinkles on the profit line, and again it has a nice little jump. Even again more evident for the drawdown you have here. Also, you are starting here at $12,066, and on the other side of that drawdown you see a nice little bump again of 12,391, and then the last two ones here is the really heavy ones where you basically ended up having 14,128 before the drawdowns themselves. It hit this particular one and the next one, and it comes out on top here with 15,404, And again, so every single time it basically runs into a drawdown. It continues to set a lot of different trades in here, and then when the trend reverses, it uses all the open trades to basically increase the profit before it closes off. We're not exactly sure if this is a percentage that is also taken in, but definitely it looks like every single time, the bigger the drawdowns you have, so the bigger the profit you will have on the other side when the trend reverses. So quite interesting EA definitely here, how it works. If we have a look at the statistics in here and go to the graphics again, the interesting parts are the symbols that we have. And again, this is the red is the loss and the blue is the profit. And you can see there's a bit of a match in between that. When you have losses, the percentage size you have in here, we can have the 4 currency pairs, where again you saw had the drawdowns and then they come out on the other side with an even bigger profit. That's basically what this is showing. It's setting up a lot of different trades. It goes in the wrong direction, and then when the loss is basically, or when the direction is changing, then the loss is getting picked up, and it then exploits the particular lot of open lot sizes here to basically cash in a bit of extra, so it doesn't really close off at 0, or when it's just in slight positive, it actually continues into the trade until it gets a certain percentage back of what the drawdown was at the end of the day here. And obviously, if you have so many trades open with also bigger lot sizes, that doesn't require a lot of movement, but obviously again can be a dangerous strategy if things goes against you. So that is the ones. We can see the heaviest drawdown seems to be coming from the Euro USD, basically cashing in the 1,400 you saw here. Again, very high drawdown, and then you get a even bigger profit. So all in all, it looks quite well. If we have a quick look at the risk again here for the MQL5 platform, it looks similar to what I showed you here before. The deposit load is then how much of the money that you are using on your account itself. And that has something to do also with the leverage you're using. At the moment, we have 1 to 200, and that's why actually this one here came very close again to what you call a margin call. It doesn't wipe out the entire account, but definitely something you don't want to see too often. But again, it's serious numbers, definitely on the positive side. Now, the EA we are referring here today is the Trade Explorer. It is not the first time we have actually made videos on this, but definitely it's the first time we take a closer look at the long-term prospects of this particular trading EA, and it seems to be quite good. As we mentioned here before, we have a lot of things on our website similar to where we are right now here, explaining you all the different types of currencies. It can trade up to 20 different currency pairs, and we also show you 2 different types of accounts, as you will see here on our weekly profit reports that we send out. You have both a 22 pair account that we are trading because the broker is missing 1 currency pair that we cannot add to it. And we have another one, which is the one I actually showed you here today. It is the 10 pair one, and it's definitely the one we recommend that you use because it is a bit more, let's say, safe. It is a bit more conservative, and we definitely like this particular one better than the 22 pairs. So even though both of them are doing quite well overall. Now, the Trade Explorer has been tested now, and we have obviously done a couple of videos on this already. And also here you can see the profits blowing in the sales. We are going through part of this, and also how to buy, install, and set up. So we have a full one that if you are interested in this particular EA, you want to learn a bit more about how this is going to be set up. We do get a lot of emails every single week of how difficult they are to set up. You can have a look at the videos and you can figure out for yourself if this is something you can actually do. Now, we also have the monthly returns. So again, you can see here we have for May and June, and soon we will also have for July. And as you have already seen, things will be better even for July. Our FXBlue links you can find down here. So the 22 pair account and the 10 pair account, both of them will take you straight there. And you can double check all the numbers that we have shown you in this particular video. And if you are interested in trading with the Trade Explorer and you want to buy this particular one, we do have a 5% discount for you if you use the Explorer coupon code, because this particular EA is not the cheapest one of them, but as you can see, you seem to be getting your money back fairly quickly, especially if you would have bought it last month and trading it for a full month, then basically you would have had that and basically had a decent profit on top of this. So people will be very, very happy with that, I'm sure. You have links to Leap FX in here. And then obviously we also have a couple of extra links for you to have a closer look, even Leap FX, my FX book results. You can also go to the developers and see exactly what they have, if they correlate and respond with what we have shown you here today. So with numbers like this, it is definitely up there where you can say that this could be one of the best trading robots ever. We are quite impressed with the profits that are coming in. We're also quite impressed with the stability that is there. And we seem to have hit a nice sweet spot so far here with the lot sizing. Obviously, there's recommendations also from Leap FX, the developers in there, if you want to either trade at a higher risk, get even more profit, or you want to lower your risk and also lower your lot size. There is certainly also a possibility. The good part here is you have different options. You have options obviously to trade all 10 like you have seen we have done in here, or you can even say, well, I don't want the heavy drawdowns. I want to basically just have the ones that hasn't had the big drawdowns. I want to increase the lot size on those particular ones instead. So maybe only trade 5 or 6 currency pairs. And then you feel that that is the better way of working. There is definitely different opportunities with this EA here, as long as you understand exactly how this works. Now we have made, as I mentioned, and you saw on our website here also, a Trade Explorer tutorial, how to buy it, how to install it, and also how to set it up. We basically go through the Leap FX manual in here, where you can find more details and recommendations from their side of what exactly has to be done in order to get you started. Now, this is obviously not trading advice. You and you alone are responsible for your own trading. We are only trying to show you our results, so you have a good idea of what this EA can actually do. What kind of profits are we talking about? What kind of risk are we talking about again here? So please make sure that you take all the precautions needed and necessary here. Make sure you set this up if you are going to buy it on a demo account first. Start trading it and basically understanding how this trades, so you also understand the risk. So I hope I've given you a good insight as how this EA works, also the profits itself. Obviously, we're going to have a closer look at it again in decent time when we have seen a bit more trading and hopefully even bigger results in the future. Time will tell. So hopefully I'll see you on one of my next videos. Bye-bye.